There's 4 types of tissue in the body. That's it. 4 types of tissue in the body. Epithelial, connective, muscle, and nervous. I say that to my students, 2,000 times over the semester. There's 4 types of tissue in the body. We tend to go back to what type of tissue is this? Why do we talk about different types of tissue? The structure creates the function. 4 types of tissue: epithelial, connective, muscle, and nervous. That's it. So as you're studying, go back to the basics. 4 types of tissue. But, as we know, we can further break things down in anatomy. The first type is epithelial tissue. When we cover epithelial tissue, we'll describe their structure and their function, and their structure is based off the number of cell layers, the shapes, because how they're organized creates the functionality that we see in different organ systems. In this case, we're showing the skin because the superficial layer of the skin, my epidermis, is epithelial tissue, specifically stratified squamous epithelium. We'll come back to that. Connective tissue, our most abundant tissue, because we see it all over our body. It can be hard, it can be gelatinous, it could be a fluid. So we'll talk about 3 types of connective tissue and further break those down. Obviously, we see our bones here. Our bones make sense. They're connecting the body. How do they do that? They connect with ligaments. Bone to bone are connected with ligaments. Tendons connect muscle to bone, also a type of connective tissue. When we look at adipose tissue or fat, that's a connective tissue. When we look at different areas of the skin and get into the dermis, this is also 2 different types of connective tissue. It helps to connect, reinforce, but it provides different functionality that we get into when we talk about the different types, because the cells become more specialized to secrete something that we'll call a matrix. We also see it as a fluid, blood and lymph. We don't always think as blood and lymph as a connective tissue just because it is a liquid. However, it is connecting the body. In one of our previous videos, we talked about the functions of the cardiovascular system. The goal of the blood is to transport materials. It's connecting the body by moving around things like nutrients, waste, hormones. Muscles, simply put, 3 types of muscle: smooth, cardiac, skeletal. If it's something I can control and move with my bones, that's skeletal. If it's my heart, it's only cardiac. That's it. Smooth, we find in different areas that we cannot control the movement. Usually we refer to the digestive system or gastrointestinal tract, the GI tract, esophagus, stomach, large intestine, small intestine, my blood vessels, areas that we move things. And then lastly, nervous tissue. When we talk about nervous, remember we learn neurons, neuroglia, the supporting cells, but it's the coordinating of the activities of the rest of the body. I say that very simply, but there's a lot to cover with the nervous system. 4 types of tissue in the body: epithelial, connective, muscle, and nervous. We're building off the levels of organization, the makeup of the body, because we said we had the atomic level, and looking at our compounds created by our elements, our cells, we put a bunch of cells that are common together, tissues, 4 types of tissues.